All right, welcome to the Franchise Time Machine. We've got a fun sim tonight, and I chose one that is going to require a minimum of setup because I just wrapped up some work stuff, and I'm doing this stream, and then I've got to get ready for my stream tonight. In between, I need to finish some rosters that So I did Iron, Bronze, and Silver PTCS rosters on stream last night. I need to then duplicate those on my other accounts. So I have 3 teams playing Iron. I need to take that Iron roster and try to rebuild it on my other accounts. I can't do it completely because I don't have all the LEs and stuff. So it does require a little bit of problem solving. So I thought I'd do that off stream. And then, because that's just not as interesting. So I'll do the live roster builds and the perfect drafts. I've got 3 dailies and 2 weeklies to draft. I'll do those tonight at 10 p.m. Pacific time. I'll go over the schedule again after the raid comes in. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing a quicker sim tonight. The roster is already built. It's good to go. I'll go over the players and stuff. But it should be a fun one. It's the worst player seasons we could find. Now I'm trying to find a way to search the player database. Because as of right now, the only way I know how to do it is in the game. You can search individual seasons. Flying WV had offered to help out with some analytics stuff for our tournaments, and I thought, well, maybe we can start with the database. And can we crack open the database and make it searchable? Because I would like to be able to find the lowest war seasons in the lowest OOTP war seasons, because we found a pretty big disconnect in a lot of the players between the Baseball Reference War and the OOTP war. And, I get that, like, different places calculate war differently. My understanding is, like, Fangraphs also has different war calculations, so their war will be different. But in this case, like, some of the differences are pretty big. Players went from, like, -3 or 4 war seasons to, like, 0, -0.2, I think even a positive. Some went positive from -3 or 4 to positive. And their profiles reflected. And we looked at those players and like, these guys are just not bad enough to be on this team. So it would be nice to do the search in OOTP instead of doing the search in BREF and then like crossing your fingers and hoping they import as badly as we think they're going to. So that might take this to a next level in OOTP 28. But just as reference, the last version of this team went 11 and 151. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get that. I don't know if it'll be even worse or not. I don't think this is I called this test, but it's probably experiment. So we'll see if we can bring this in. All right, so let's see if we can get... So the reason this roster is important is I'm using it to play a historic community game, which will be historic studs and duds. And I'll talk more about that. It sounds like EVC is about to rain, so I'll talk about that a little bit more after they come up. So let's go new game. EVC and NYC2. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders.
Why do you keep following me around?
We have Zerog2000. Thank you for the follow. Welcome in. We have tonight a second iteration of our low war player season team. This is a team where we tried to find the lowest war, basically tried to find the worst player seasons we could and put them all onto one team, but still have all the positions and have 5 starting pitchers and some middle relievers, closers and stuff. EVC, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. So you can know how long I've been streaming on Twitch by how long EVC has been subscribed. 26 months is how long I've been streaming. Thank you, EBC, for supporting. I think from literally day one. BBC and Ezra Denny have been supportive right away. Yeah, so this is as loud as my system gets. I will try to move the mic a little bit closer. My mic volume is maxed out. My OBS volume is maxed out. I am looking into getting a new microphone. My understanding is that it might be my microphone. It also picks up all kinds of ambient noise, like when my kids come home from school sometimes. I can't even hear them in the room, but the mic picks them up through the house somehow. So I definitely need to change my setup. But that is in the works. I don't want to get the wrong thing again, so I'm doing some research on that. In fact, EBC, if you have any suggestions, if you can DM me in Discord. I'm looking for a microphone. I think I need a more directional microphone that will just pick up my voice and a lot less ambient sound. I also have to, every night when I raid out, I have to give people the volume warning if they've been listening intently, to lower their volume before we raid. Oh, you use your laptop microphone? Oh, that's amazing. Because your stream always looks and sounds so good. Wow, that's unbelievable. It's kind of inspiring and also makes me feel kind of bad. So yeah, the original version of this team went 11 and 151 to give you some idea. There is, oh, you know what? It's not pinned to the chat. I'm pinning to the chat a link to the form for tonight's giveaway, which Twitch is not letting me do. Let me see if I can do it from here, from my stream manager. Okay, so pinned to the chat now is a pack giveaway form. 7 packs for first place, 3 packs for second place. And you can win just by guessing how this team is going to do. It's a pretty long form, but we have a lot of fun with the tie breaks and stuff. So if you can, if you want to join in, win some packs from OOTP Developments. Yeah, so let's go ahead and set this up. I'll show you the setup for this. So I did save this as a quick start. I believe it's a previous experiment. Yeah, I think this is it. This is so I'm using this as the starting point also for a new community game, which is Historic Studs and Duds. We have a creator roster version of this that's been a lot of fun, where you create 6 legend level players and 20 bench level players and try to win the World Series. And that's been a lot more popular this cycle than last season. More people are getting into it, which has been fun. This is going to be a historic version where everyone starts with the same 26 player team, and you can pick any 6 player seasons from history and add them to this team. And you can pick which 6 players you send to the reserve, and we'll add your 6 players in and see if you can take this 11-win team and make the playoffs. I was successful. I did an experiment. I tried it out. When I did 6 batters, I made the playoffs. And I think we lost in the division series. And then I did 4 batters and 2 pitchers, and we made the playoffs again as a wild card. And we lost in the wild card round, I think. And then I did 6 pitchers, 5 starters and a closer, and we didn't make the playoffs. I don't think we were even 500. So I think it showed that like it can be fun and challenging, and so I think we're definitely going to adopt it as one of our community games. All right, so this will be this is an experiment. OOTP27, and we'll reference this episode 753, and this will be Low War 2. So we made some changes to the original roster. This is, I don't know why it's taking. It's never taken this long before. That's weird. Did I do something wrong? I don't think I did anything wrong. All right, now I'm worried. I'm checking the clip to see if I did anything wrong here. Oh, did I maybe select the wrong game? I don't think I did. I don't know why this is taking so long. Or if my hard drive is getting too full. Let me take a look. I'll check that while the game is thinking. No, we still have space. It's never done this thing for so long, though. Load quick start game, name for the game. We just created the quick start. We just created a game from the quick start. I don't think I did anything wrong here. The concerning part is it seems to be cycling through the same messages over and over. Like the copying folder thing. I keep seeing, it looks like it's the same things over and over. It makes you wonder if it's in some kind of loop. Well, I don't know why it's copying so many folders. It's also copying folders for a bunch of other games, which is concerning. Yeah, it's like you're going through all the files and copying them for some reason. Should I force close it? I'm also losing a ton of storage space as it goes. Alright, I might force close this. Alright, task manager. Going to the game. Going to OOTP27. And I guess end task. I don't know. Anyone have any thoughts here? I don't know what it's doing. It's copying. It looks like it's copying files because my free disk space is going down, down, down as it goes. That was really weird. All right, I'm going to try opening it again. It's moving stuff from OneDrive to local. Okay, well, okay. Is there a reason why like that would happen though? Like, I didn't ask it to do that. Does it do that like as a maintenance thing? Yeah, I lost like 4 gigs of memory just now, or storage just now. That's really weird. Okay, thank you, FlyWV. Let me try it again. One easy way to see if it even took is if this file name is taken or not. Okay, that name already exists. That's really weird. So it did create the game. Okay, this is what it normally looks like, not all that copying stuff. Okay, good. This is what it normally looks like. So I am glad I forced that stop. Okay, we're taking over the Yankees. This is where we built the team because I like the idea of the Yankees losing 151 games. This is my manager. We're going to play in commissioner mode, cannot be fired. The run environment is already saved in a quick start. But if you ever want to see how I do my creator roster or other game run environments, they're all the same. They're set up to minimize changes during the season. If you go to my Twitch only lets me save about 2 weeks worth of streams, so I export them to YouTube. I don't do any work on them though, so I just dump them into YouTube. But if you go to my YouTube, which is also Franchise Time Machine, and find any of our historic community games, not the creator roster ones, but like Force 4 trades or peak performances, you'll usually see me setting up a run environment because we're using a year that we've never used before. That same setup is how you do 2025 to get our creator roster run environment, and it'll also be this run environment. Oh wait, this still has the original Yankees. Oh no, you know what? You know what it is? I was gonna take over the Mets because we're gonna try to improve this team. I didn't want to improve the Yankees, so I put in the Mets. So we're gonna take over the Mets. Oh no, I don't want to do acting manager. I want to take over the job. So I want the Mets job. Okay, this is our team. This is the team. There we go. So the form is incorrect. We'll actually be taking over the 25 New York Mets. But it doesn't look like anyone's entered yet, so I think it'll be okay. Okay, if you want to see what this team looks like, it's pretty bad. Like this guy has 55 PBABIP, and he's the best PBABIP on the staff by far. We have one guy with 65 stuff. We have one guy with 50 control. Like the greens stand out like crazy on this pitching staff. So we got like 1996 Todd Van Poppel. You might be familiar with that season. This 73 Steve Blass is an all-time kind of bad pitching season. I do feel kind of bad including it because I think he had like a Mackie Sasser, Chuck Knobloch, Rick Ankiel type meltdown, but he pitched like half of a season. He had, I think, well, we can look. He pitched 23 games and 18 starts, 88 and 2/3 innings, a 9.85 ERA, 2.18 WHIP. And you can see his walks per nine just blew up from 3, which is already not great, to 8.5. So he's kind of like the ace of the staff. But even worse is Harry Cauliflower, who Lisa Loves Biology found for us while we're doing the roster build. He went 1-11 with an 8.17 ERA. You think the whip isn't too bad, but he's terrible. The other interesting thing, though, is he was a hitter, and he hit 303. So I was thinking about recommending this to Spore as a card. I think it would be a fun card. Just terrible pitcher, and then this like amazing bat. He played in 1899, and a two-way guy who should have just gone one way. Big Cannonball 69, thank you for the 25 stream streak. No, this is we're just testing the low war team. This is the revised low war team. It's all in the pack giveaway form. All the info is in the pack giveaway form. So yeah, so this guy actually comes in worse somehow than the Rick Blass that has been historically like the worst pitcher on the staff, to the point that the computer is starting Blass ahead of Cauliflower, which I thought was interesting. Brian Matus is one of the new players we added. We had a couple pitchers who were just coming in a little too good, so we found Brian Matus, this gem of a season. 2011, he went 1-9 with a 10.69 ERA. Started all 12 of the games he pitched. So they kept sending him out there. Keep going, Brian. Get back out there. Get back on that horse. I wonder when the win came. Like, did he go 1-0 and then he went 0-9 and they're like, he was so good in that first start, let's keep giving him a chance? Or, because I don't think I can get a real life game. Oh, you know what? I can get a game log in BREF. Let me look him up in BREF. I think I can find a historic game log. I mean, Brian Matus. I don't know if there are any Orioles fans in the chat who might remember this guy from 2011. Okay, so if I look at his 2011 season, how do I find... So I'm in BREF. I'll show you my BREF. Hold on. All right, let me share the screen. All right, so I'm looking for game log from 2011. How do I find that? Appearances. 20. Do I do that here? 2011 appearances. Oh, pitching game logs, 2011. Here we go. Did he win his first game and then they kept marching him out there? Okay, so on June 6th. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. On June 6th, on June 1st, he went 5 2/3 of 1-run ball. Got a no decision and the team won. Then they pitch him again on the 6th. He goes 5 1/3, gives up 2 runs, but he gets the win and the team wins again 4-2. So now he's 1-0 and the team is 2-0 when he starts. So he starts out hot, and then he has a 1 1/3 inning meltdown. And they're probably like, okay, he's pitched 3 times now. The first 2 were good. He's 1-0, and he had 1 bad start. So let's put him out there again. So then he goes out again, goes 5 1/3, gives up 4 runs, which is not great, and picks up another loss. But 6 innings and 3 earned runs is technically a quality start. He's 5 1/3 and 4 earned runs. So it's bad, but it's like, okay. We now have like a pretty mixed bag of results. 2 good starts, a meltdown, and like a bad start. So, okay, let's try him again. 4 2/3, 6 earned runs. Now it's looking pretty bad. Well, let's try him again. 3 1/3, 8 earned runs. Now there's more negative data than there is positive data. And he hasn't won in 5 starts. And the team hasn't won in his last 4 starts. So then they don't pitch him for a while. That was June 30th. August 16th rolls around. I'm thinking they're either out of the pennant race or someone got hurt. So they're like, okay, let's try Matus again in the rotation. And he goes 6 2/3 and gives up 6 earned runs. And they're probably like, okay, well, at least he got into the 7th inning. He got touched up for 6 earned runs, but he got into the 7th inning. Let's try him again. He goes 4 innings, he's a fire. At some point, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't pull the plug, but they must have had injuries or something, because I don't know why you keep marching him out there. His ERA just keeps going up to 8.63, 8.92, 9.07. When you're at a 9 ERA and you can keep raising your ERA, that's really bad. 9.84, 10.68. You would think at 10.68, come on, it can't go any higher. 10.69. 5 innings, 6 earned runs. Yeah, so he's a guy who started well, so they kept giving him chances, and then for some reason they had to put him back in. in August, and he continued to do poorly. The thing is, though, like a lot of players on this team, he bounces back. He becomes a reliever, and he has 3 seasons in a row of 100 plus ERA plus. 114, 115, and 137, which is legit good. And it's not small sample size. He's pitching 65, 63, 58 games. Now it looks like he becomes a loogie because it's 51 innings and 65 games, but he found a niche, and he pitched well until he blew up again in 2016. But anyway, so this is his early meltdown year, 10.69 ERA. So these are the kinds of guys we're looking for this team. And if you know of any others you want to nominate, if you see me streaming, you can whisper me. If you're connected on Discord, you can send me a DM. We're always looking for new players for a squad like this. These players are harder to find than the good seasons because everyone knows the good seasons, or there are pretty easy searches you can do to uncover, new good seasons that you might not know. The bad seasons are harder to find, so we're always looking. And I was talking about it before the raid-in, but the baseball reference data does not match up with the OOTP data in a lot of cases, in terms of things like WAR. And the players that have like -4 to 3 WAR in BREF, when we import them in the base game, they actually came in with like close to 0 or sometimes even positive WAR, and their ratings are much better than we would have expected. And so there's some sort of disconnect in the way WAR is being calculated. And I know every outlet has its own WAR calculation, so it's probably just a difference in how the data is viewed. But as a result, like, we did a lot of BREF searching that didn't pan out. And so, like, Lisa Loves Biology finding Harry Cauliflower for us was awesome. Not only that, but even though it's spelled differently, we're adding him to the all food team, even though he's terrible. I mean, this looks like a mistaken import, but supposedly these are real ratings. His bat is so good that I had to make sure he stayed a one-way player because his bat is legit good. If we look at his batting ratings, 50 contact, 75 BABIP, 65 GAP. Now he has no power or eye, but this is a good bat. He had 303 that season in 1899. So we turned off his bat. He's pitcher only, where he was terrible. So yeah, that's their pitching rotation. I tried to also get a pretty good mix of eras. So our rotation is 1973, 1899, 1904, 1988, and then we have a 21st century in Brian Matus. The bullpen also, Ryan Roland Smith from 2010, Alfredo Simon also his nickname, Big Pasta. Alfredo Simon from 2016, Todd Van Poppel from 96, Lloyd Allen from 73, Reggie Grabowski from 34, 2 guys from 1980, Dave Hamilton and Brian McLaughlin, and Cal McClish from 1944. And some of these guys, like McClish, has a perfect team card because in this season he was terrible. I mean, look at these ratings: 35, 30, 30, 35, 35. But when you look at his real life stats, he has a 148 ERA plus season. He has a 3.1 WAR season. He went 16-8, 19-8. He has good seasons. He just had this one super stinker of a season, where he went 3-10 with a 7.82 ERA. And a lot of them are either rookie seasons or final seasons, right? So they're getting started and they're not ready yet, or they're ending their career and they should have probably ended a season earlier. So McClish is one of the young guys. He's only 18. He's only 18. Cauliflower. Oh, here Simon's 34, which isn't super old. Hamilton's 32. In the 80s, I think 32 was closer to like a typical end of career age. Right? He comes back for. No, that was it. This is his last season. He went 0-3 with an 11.4 ERA. 30. This is a relatively small sample size, but it was so bad we had to keep it. So that's what the pitching looks like. The batting, also very bad. Again, you're going to see some players whose names you'll probably recognize, either from Perfect Team or actual, like Jock Jones, 2008. Right. This is, other than his eye, he's got a 20 BABIP. 20 BABIP. But if you look at his real life stats, like the reason you recognize his name is he has a 4 WAR season. He has a 3.6 WAR season. He hit double-digit home runs 7 years in a row. But he also had the stinker of 2008, where he hit 147 across 2 teams, and a 446 OPS across 2 teams. So yeah, Jock Jones, a player like I remember as being good, but he's got a stinker. Chris Davis, he's the power on the team. This is 2018 Chris, so not quite his last season, but he had 168 with a 539 OPS plus, and I think coupled with some pretty bad fielding, he had a negative 1.6 WAR. I think his BREF WAR was even worse. He slugged 296. That's his job, and he slugged 296. So he's the starting first baseman. George Wright, also reliably terrible on this team. He has 60 avoid K, but that's about it. He has some gap power, but he came in with negative WAR one season well because his fielding was so bad in center field. But this is the 1985 season where he hit 190 with negative 2.3 WAR. But this is a guy who previously had 2.3 WAR in Texas. Hit 276 at 18 bombs, had a 745 OPS, which is not great, but it's not terrible. It's certainly not 546 or 523 in 86. He hit 202 across 2 teams with 2 home runs in 245 plate appearances. And like I said, contributed some pretty bad defense. It's weird though, because his ratings are actually not that bad, but he was really bad the seasons we simmed. George Scott, another guy who he does have gap power, but that's about it. In 1968, he hit 171 with negative 2.2 WAR. His slugging was 237. He slugged 237. There are bad middle infielders whose average is better than 237. His OPS was 473. But again, this is a guy who he would go on to have 4.7, 4.4, and 4.1 WAR seasons. The year before, he had 3.7 WAR in his second season in baseball. And this is the year of the pitcher. For whatever reason, the OOTP base game OPS plus isn't working, but his OPS plus was like severely negative, so severely below 100. So it wasn't just that everyone was bad in 68. He was especially bad still. So it could just be like the year of the pitcher changed some things in favor of the pitchers, and all the batters suffered, but he suffered disproportionately. Whatever was happening, it impacted him even more. But then he figures it out. He bounces back to a 1.3 WAR in 1969. His OPS jumps from 473 to 716, and then it just keeps going up from there. He hits 4.7, 4.4, and 4.1. So he has a good career. Career 31.7 WAR, but we're taking his stinker of a negative 2.2 1968. So a lot of these guys have good seasons, good careers even. But we just found like the year that was terrible. There are a lot of really bad dead ball guys, so I tried to limit how many of those we took. I had to take Jiggs Parrott, partly because his name was awesome. But he was also legit terrible this year. I think this is one too where I think the relative stats, we need the OPS plus to know how bad this was. We actually wonder why we didn't take his 1892. What does his 1892 look like? We might make a change on the fly here. And I'll show you how to import a player. You go to Manager, pull down menu, GM and Manager Actions, sign a free agent. And then if you're in Commissioner mode, you'll have this Actions pull down. You can import historical players from the historical database. Now, I usually upload a file because we have multiple players at a time, but if we just want to import one, we can do this, and we can do 1892. Now, the downside of doing it here is it doesn't let you put a destination. If you do the file, you can put a destination. 1 year import, fielding ratings based on career. And this is not a small sample size player, but just in case, I always take these down. All right, so he will show up in the free agency pool. Let's see how his 892 compares to his 94. In BREF, I think we took the 1894 because the BREF was worse than his 92. But let's look at his batting. Oh yeah, this looks like it might be better. Let's edit this to say 1892 so we can compare. So we're changing his player name just to include the year. So now when we look at that one, we won't get it mixed up with where's Parrot? Oh, there it is. We'll do compare player. Yeah, the 1892 actually comes with more avoid K and more power. Versus lefties, the 94 has more BABIP, the 92 has more power, and then versus righties, the 92 dominates. Defensively, the 94 is a little worse, I guess. So all around, I think it leans towards the 94 being the worst team, even though the BRF, the OOTP War would say the opposite. So we'll go ahead and delete the 92, and we'll stick with what we have with the 94. You know what we should use? These comparable players might be a useful list too. We have Fred Ramers on the team already. So we did a pretty good job because like comparable players are already on the team. Ramers on the team. Hunter Hill was on the team. He's on the reserve, I think. Royster's one of the guys who was too good, so we found a replacement for him. Lily's on the team, I think. Lily's an interesting guy. His glove is huge, and his bat was terrible. So he was an interesting guy to have on the team because he had a use. But you had to make the decision if you wanted the glove or no bat or a semblance of a bat from someone else. So to make sure the free agency pool is clear, it is, because someone might have signed that other player. Jerry Buchek, I think, is the guy we brought on to replace Jerry Royster. Jerry Royster was a guy who had negative WAR in BREF, but imported having like negative 0.8 WAR on the season. And he was good in 3 different positions defensively. But we needed a guy who could play multiple positions. So we found Jerry Buchek, who does play 3 positions. But look at this bat. 25 contact, 20 avoid K, 25 BABIP, 20 power, 20 I. The thing about 20 is the scale doesn't go below 25 unless it goes to 0. So there's like, this could be a 10 or a 5. It's not like going above scale where it'll show you 85 or 90. It will not show you 15 or 5. So you have to really go into editor to see like what does it actually look like below that. Yeah, and like look, a 116 is a 20. His I is an 82. So this is like a 5 or a 10 I. So he's actually way worse than his avoid K, also a 90. You know 116 is a 20. 117 is a 20. 145 is even a 20. So you know that 90 is closer to a 10 or like a 12 or something. So Jerry Buchek may be the worst bat we've ever seen. If he gets enough plate appearances, count on Jerry Buchek, who is actually starting. He's starting at shortstop because his glove is one of the better gloves. Don't be surprised if he blows away your expectations for low batting average and OPS in the pack giveaway. He is terrible. All right, so this is a team we've got I know some people like to screenshot these when they're filling out their pack giveaway, so you can take a look at that. Here's the pitching staff. If you want to screenshot that. And then since it's ready to run, I think I'm going to go ahead and we'll push an ad break so the sim isn't interrupted. And then we'll come back and close the form, take a look at the guesses, and go ahead and start the sim. All right, let me go ahead and do that. I'm gonna refill my water and stuff. I'd already walked my dog, so we're good. We're good on that front for the stream, I think. All right, good luck, everybody. All right, sorry about that. I had to take a little extra time because I forgot I was supposed to pack a snack for the girls tonight. All right. I did also forget to look at the bullpen. We've got Ryan Roland Smith is a left-handed closer. Yeah, it's bad when 1996 Todd Van Poppel is your top setup guy. That's bad. This is a guy, your top setup guy in 1996. He had a 9.06 ERA and not a small sample size. He threw almost 100 innings, 2.02 whip, negative 2.54. That's your number one setup guy. Oh yeah, secrecy, no problem, no problem. I also added some questions because this is such a bad team. I want you to guess the lowest and highest batting average, OPS, ERA, and WHIP. Because I think guessing the highest might be harder than guessing the lowest for this team. So I thought that'd be a nice little wrinkle for folks who are in our regulars in our late night stream. They're getting pretty good at guessing the lowest for the bad teams and guessing the highest for the good teams. I now want them to try to guess the highest for the bad teams. I think that'll be a nice little challenge. So yeah, he's another guy who just had control meltdown. He was already a bad control pitcher, 6.9, 6.6 when he came up, and then tops out at 7.2 in 1996 with with Detroit. So yeah, he's bad. He was also one of those guys. I think he got so many chances because people thought he had a lot of potential. He threw hard, especially for the era. He threw very hard. I think now everyone throws in the high 90s, mid 90s, but back then you were lucky if your staff had one or two guys who threw in the high 90s. And so when you could do that, you got a lot of chances. And so he got a lot of chances. And I'm sure like in 2001, when he comes with a 2.52, people are like, oh my God, he's figured it out. And then in 2003, he jumps back up to a 6.4 walks per nine and an 8.53 ERA and a 2.29 whip. So yeah, Bobby Witt Jr., Bobby Witt Sr. was like that. I remember, he had just kind of confounding control issues. I think Eric Plunk was like that too. Just a lot of guys who could throw heat, and people just kept thinking Nolan Ryan figured it out at some point. Who was switched? Harry Cauliflower is new. He's a very bad left-handed pitcher that Lisa Loves Biology found us. But he can hit, but we have his hitting turned off because his hitting was actually quite good. He had 303 that year. So Harry Cauliflower is new. Brian Matus is new. 20 HRA, 25 PBAB, which are terrible. I don't think I've ever seen anyone with a 20 overall movement. Because usually guys have at least one of HRA or PBAB, but a 20 overall is just really bad. Surprisingly, he comes with a 40 stuff and 40 control though, so that's a little interesting. Alfredo Big Pasta Simon is new. He's a relief pitcher, borderline starter. His real life stats, I think he started like half his games this year. No, more than half. 15 games, 11 games started. Van Poppel is new. I think Grabowski might be new. 34 Grabowski, 9.23 ERA. Did pitch in 27 games, mostly as a relief pitcher. 5 games started, so he's in the bullpen. So he's new. And on the batting side, Jerry Buchek is new. The computer decided he's a starting shortstop, and he's legit the worst bat we've ever seen. So keep him in mind for, you know, worst hitting. 25 contact, 20 avoid K, 25 BABIP, 20 power, 20 I. His highest rating is a 45 gap power. Even the secondary is just terrible. 40 base running, 25 steal, 25 speed, 20 steal tendency, 25 sack bunt, 20 bunt for hit. But he can actually field pretty well. And I think that's why he's the starting shortstop. So that's Jerry Buchek. I think he played with the Red Sox. Scott Thompson is new. I think he replaced one of the outfielders. He actually comes in with a huge avoid K and huge gap power. But he seemed to have a legit bad season here. We hit 165, 417 OPS, and negative 0.9 WAR. And that's negative WAR despite having pretty decent fielding ratings. So he might, I don't know what's up. I mean, we've talked about gap power requires hits. And he has 20 power, which is awful. And 20 BABIP, 20 power, I think is going to kill any profile. So that's what he's got. And then Jock Jones is new. This is a 2008 season, his last season in the majors, where he hit 147 with a 207 slug and a 446 OPS. So kind of a sad end to a pretty good career. 3.1, 2 WAR, back up to a 3.6 in his age 31 season. 1.4 in his age 32 season, and then just drops off a cliff. Part of it is like, it looks like he didn't get any opportunities, but part of it also might be, you know, there are probably reasons he wasn't getting opportunities. So those are the main changes from what we've been running in the past. Jim Lilly's still not starting, despite his great glove. The bat, I think, maybe just too bad. He's a legit 60 center fielder. So Buchek gets to start at shortstop for his glove, but apparently in center, I was forced starting. Oh, maybe, hold on, maybe I need to force start George Wright again in Buchek. I forgot when you import a quick start, it doesn't import all the force start stuff. So let me screenshot this. If anything changes, I'll force start it back, because that's what people base their guesses on. Like, you know, sorry. Like, if this changes from Buchek starting at short, or Jock Jones starting in center, or Jock Jones starting in left and right, and George Wright starting in center, I'll try to change it back. But if I do this and it changes, it would have changed in season anyway. So yeah, no, it stayed the same. So these are the starting lineups based on the computer. We used to have to force start a few things, but this is actually the natural computer preference. All right, Zegriz is in. I don't think anyone else is working on a form, so we'll go ahead and close it. If you are working on a forum, let me know in chat, and I'll keep it open. You have a few extra moments while I set up the spreadsheet view. But definitely let me know, because once I show the guesses, I can't let anyone in. So let me know in chat before it's too late. This is one of the sims I've been most looking forward to seeing just how bad this team is. Like, I wouldn't stream if I didn't enjoy the Sims, but this one in particular I've been excited about. And I think lap is going on at what time is lap? Does anyone know when lap is going on? I was gonna raid into lap. I think he let me know. He gave me a heads up. Nope. But if anyone happens to know what time he's planning to go on tonight, I'll message him too. I think it's around 6:30 Pacific time, which is usually around the time we're finishing up here. We might finish a little sooner tonight, though, because this sim was already set up. Okay, so the form is closed. Here are the guesses. Let me try. Yeah, I did close the form. Again, I think the ratios are funny. Thanks to the raid from EVC and NYC2, we've got 189 viewers. We've got 3 contestants. Most nights we have about 50 viewers, and we get like 5 or 6 contestants. Sometimes 7 or 8. So the ratio is way off in the afternoons. Nerdavanky, thank you for the tier 3 sub. Almost a year of subs from Nerd of Anarchy. So I had to create tier 3 rewards when Flying WV became my first tier 3 subscriber. So tier 3 subs get 2 community games per month. All the games are channel point redemptions, but as a thank you to my tier 2 and tier 3 subs, I give 1 free game per month to tier 2 subs and 2 free games per month to tier 3 subs. And they get their channel points early. Normally you're not here, but you got off work early. Oh, I'm glad to see Grizzly. Otherwise we would have had 2 contestants today. Yeah, the afternoons are weird. We have like tons of viewers because of the raid train. And they're usually either, they're lurking because I'll sometimes chime in the chat, or I'll see them in, or they'll follow and stuff, but they just don't enter the pack giveaway. At least not at the rate at the late nights. All right, so everyone thinks this team's gonna have the worst record in the majors, and therefore the worst record in the NL, and therefore the worst record in the NL East. No one thinks they'll make the playoffs. No one thinks they'll win the division. So it's going to come down to the regular season wins for first place, and then for second place we do a point by point for all the other questions. And I think this will be fun. It's going to be a 3-way race for. Okay, all right, chat. I'm going to give you guys the choice here. There are 3 of you in the contest. Do you want to do the normal way, where first place is determined by the survival cells? In this case, it'll come down to the win total. Or do you want to scrap the survival stall section and just all 3 of you compete in the second place section? All right, Flying to me prefers the scoring. Nerd of Anarchy is, when you say the whole thing, Nerd, do you mean the scoring? Or do you want survival style and then scoring? You want just the scoring? Okay, we'll give Z Grizzly a vote, but Z Grizzly has already been outvoted if Z Grizzly goes the other way. Scoring, no survivor. Okay, Flying to me also prefers scoring. All right, so Z Grizzly, you're gonna be, if you say no, you'll be outvoted anyway. But you should still have a voice in this. So, how do you feel about switching to just second part scoring? And I'll give Z Grizzly a hint because I just looked at the win total guesses. Z Grizzly, you probably want to go along with everybody else on this one. you probably want to you probably want a chance at first place packs and the second place scoring. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that's probably the way to go. All right, so that's what we'll do. We'll still do the survivor style part for fun, but first and second place will be determined by the second place guesses. So I'll still show who got the closest on the win total guess, but that'll just be an exhibition, and the packs will be based on second place. So all three of you will get your scores done. I know some of you don't like it. I mean, you like it when you win 7 first place packs, but I know sometimes it's a bummer because you don't get your guesses scored. Tonight, everyone will get their guesses scored. Okay, so now that we've done that, we can now go ahead and save this and save the quick start. Oh no, this quick start is the quick start, so we don't need to do anything. We haven't changed a thing. So we don't need to save it for this particular stream. All right, so now we can go to the standings and go to opening day. When you go to opening day, the base game, you'll see here it says generating MLB season predictions. So that's what we're going to look at. And sometimes, are you serious, Finder? You guess it bad on purpose just so you can get your scores done? That's funny. You know, if enough people feel that way, I wouldn't mind switching the whole thing to that. We can discuss that at the late night streams. I would be that would be interesting. Oh, you know what? This shows me I forgot to update my mailbox. So when you do a quick start, it does not import the mailbox settings or the manager options. Okay, but now that we're at opening day, we can go to MLB pull down menu, reports and info, and preseason predictions. All right, this is the AL. Everything looks pretty normal. We get to the NL. The Mets, 13 and 149. Now, before the revisions, this team won 11 games. Right now, we're predicted to win 13 games. 189 team batting average, by far the lowest in the league. 67 home runs. 347 runs scored in a 162 game season. That's barely 2 runs per game. And our ERA is 8.31 ERA. 1,363 runs against, almost a negative. Oh no, it's over a negative 1,000 run differential. Somehow we're remaining at a greater than 1 strikeout to walk ratio, which is kind of impressive. Did I screenshot this? I think I did. Of course, we're not going to have any of the top hitters or pitchers in the league. And in fact, some of these hitters might get a little boost from the fact that our pitching is so bad. Same for the pitchers, too. All right, well, let's go to opening day, our opening day. So our opening day will be the 27th after the Tokyo series. That's when everyone else starts their 2025 season. So the Cubs and Dodgers, the Dodgers swept the Cubs. That has been the least common outcome this season. The split, the most common, the Cubs sweeping, the second most common. Cubs, the 2025 Cubs sim very well in OOTP27. They're kind of like the 24 Dodgers were in OOTP26. They're a good squad, but they are also their profiles for whatever reason are aligned with the engine and sim very well in 27. All right, let's go to opening day. Bill Blass. We'll get to watch Bill Blass pitch. Always a treat. Or sorry, Steve Blass. Steve Blass. Where are we? I think we might be interleague play. Yeah, that's why we're down here. Wait, Tom Fisher. That's not right. Oh, Steve Blass is our number 4 starter. Guys, I'm tempted to sim to game 4. Let's sim to game 4. We're gonna watch the highlights for game 4. We'll do the quick plays for the first 3 games though. So you get a flavor for the team. All right, game 1, opening day. Tom Fisher against Hunter Brown. Wait, our roster's too big. How are we 1 player over? What? 13 pitchers. Oh, 14 batters. How did that happen? Oh, okay, well that's good. We learned something about our save. We need to cut a player. Oh, I think we usually go. Oh, you know what it is? We go 14 and 12, but I was worried that with this bad pitching staff, 12 wouldn't be enough, so we went 13-13, and I forgot to cut somebody. All right, let's look at position coverage. Okay, we can afford to cut from any position, it looks like. And I don't want to cut a starter because I know people already made their guesses based on this roster. I wonder if it's Scott Thompson then. He's the guy with 70 avoid K and 75 gap power. I mean, he did have a legit awful season in 81. 93 McCarty has been one of the best players, actually. Is McCarty starting? Yeah, McCarty actually probably makes sense to be the cut. How many of you were thinking about Dave McCarty when you're making your guesses? I think McCarty's the easiest guy. He only plays 2 corner outfield spots in first base. He might be the best bat. I think McCarty's the cut here. Or we could potentially cut Andy Anderson. He's here for some infield depth, for some roster depth. He's a terrible bat. Actually fields all 3 positions pretty well. I think from a depth perspective, he was giving us a lot of yeah, he's giving us depth here. He's not really going to be contributing very much. He's a second backup in a lot of positions here. I think though he was kind of necessary though because Buchek's a starter and he's the first backup at the other positions. Okay, so I'm going to cut Dave McCarty. With apologies to everyone who's already guessed. We're going to cut Dave McCarty for now, and we'll see how it works out. So if we cut McCarty, who now starts in... Oh, Jim Lilly becomes a starter. That's interesting. He's a very good defensive player. And let's make sure depth charts are still okay. Yeah, we're down to 1 backup in center field, but I think that's okay. Because Thompson's not starting anywhere, so he's a pure backup. Okay, so I'll have to remember that. We need to... Let me make a note. Let me open up a notepad here. That we need to cut McCarty in the main file for the historic studs and duds. So the other thing is for historic studs and duds. I am thinking about making it a non-leaderboard game because here's why. I want people to try different themes and stuff, and I'm worried that if everyone's trying to win a leaderboard, they're not going to do it. Like, I want to try to go on there with like 6 best Mets I can bring in and see how far I can get. Or I was thinking too also like the 6 best switch hitters I can find and bring them in. I want people to try different things and instead of just trying to win the most games. I don't know. We can discuss it in the late night stream, but I'm right now I'm leaning towards making it like the other historic games and make it just an exhibition. Yeah, but then that's no fun for the people who come later, Nerveki. There's a reason I said no to that one. There's going to be like a land grab to try to go first and use those players, and then it's not going to be as fun for the people who come later. All right, let's keep going. We want to watch Steve Blass's first start. So now it should let us quick play this game. Oh, we got no hit. We got no hit in the first game of the season. Amazing. We got no hit in game 1. We lost 12-0. 4 field goals. Is it a perfect game? Is it a perfect game? Let's see if it's a perfect game. We got no hit on opening day. Unbelievable. One walk. One walk away from a perfect game. Hunter Brown. Amazing. We got no hit, almost perfect gamed in game 1 of the season. All right. That's pretty wild. I knew we would be bad. I didn't know we'd go into game 2 of the season still with no stats except for one walk. All right, let's finish today. Game 2. Game 2. Brian Matus on the mound. He is, I think, actually almost as bad as Steve Blass. I'm surprised he's the number 2 starter. We got shut out again. This time we got 4 hits. Wow. Now we are facing the 1 and 2 pitchers of a pretty good team, but still, that's a bad sign of things to come. All right, game 3. Andy Larkin against Christian Javier. Now Larkin also pretty bad, but I don't think in the same class as Steve Blass. We got 2 hit. We did only give up 4 runs though. So Larkin significantly better than the other starting pitchers so far. So we've had 6 hits in 3 games. 6 hits in 3 games. Let's look at we got to look at our calendar here. We look at our schedule. 0 to 12, 0 to 9. Look, we're getting better though. We lost by 12, we lost by 9, we lost by 4. We're getting better. Progress, not perfection. Right? Let that be our mantra. Progress, not perfection. We're 0-3. We have to be last in the league in everything, right? Ooh, we were 14th in ERA and 11th in starter ERA. And 6th in strikeouts. Now, we are 15th in everything offensively, except for extra base hits because we're tied. we're tied for last place. Hits because we're tied. Well, 6 other teams have 6 hits. Oh no, two other teams do. 15th, 16th. No, is someone behind us? Is that possible? Does someone have fewer than 6 hits after 3? Oh, some teams haven't had 3 games, I bet. Some teams probably haven't had 3 games. Yeah, some teams have 1 game. That's why we're in 3rd from last, because some teams had 1 win. Yeah, 10 wins might have been too much credit. Okay, now here is the highlight I've been looking forward to. Steve Blass is pitching. So let's finish today. Oh yeah. Oh, now other teams will have 2 games. So now we can see where we stand. So we've had 3 games. Other teams have had 2 games or 3 games. Yeah, we're tied for last in the NL, and I bet we're tied with a team that has 2 games. No home runs. We have 1 extra base hit in 3 games. This screen is for screenshotting. 0-3, no run scored, 6 hits, 1 extra base hit, 4 walks, 30 strikeouts. And a negative 3.5 team zone rating. We've got 14 strikeouts and we've given up 14 walks. We have a 1 strikeout to walk ratio as a team. Wow. Were we the home team? We're at Houston, so we did have to pitch 9. No, we pitched 8 innings each game, right? Because they were the home team; they wouldn't bat in the box. So we pitched 8 innings. So in 24 innings, we've given up 25 runs and 35 hits in 24 innings is what we've given up. Our OPS is 202, not our batting average. Our OPS is 202. Our batting average is 070 as a team. Okay, all right. Now Steve Blass is coming to the mound. Or sorry. Oh, we have a game off today, so we'll finish today. All right. Steve Blass against Cal Quantrill. The Marlins are 3-1 coming into this game. All right, let's watch Steve Blass in action. Oh, it's a highlight for us, top of the first. Jim Lilly leading off with a 1-0 count. Oh my goodness. It's going to be doesn't even get to the warning track. It had to bounce to get to the warning track. That's the kind of team we have. But it is a leadoff double, a rare extra base hit for our team. All right, Jake's paired up with 1 out. Run around second. Oh my goodness, are we going to score a run? Is this the first run of the game in game 4? It took 3 games and 1 inning, but we finally score a run. We are leading 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Steve Blass on the mound. Sanchez on second, Marcy at bat. It's a blooper in the right center field. That's going to make it to the wall. Off the gasoline sign. The center fielder just ignores the ball and makes the right fielder get it. That's the kind of team chemistry we have on this squad. All right, game is now tied. Kyle Stowers comes to the mound. At least Blast didn't walk those guys. 0-2 count. Oh, a walk might have been better than a 2-run home run. So look, Blast's issue is control, and we haven't even seen him walk anybody, and he's down 3-1. 1-0 count to Nick Fortes. That's a gone home run to left center field. 4-1 game. How many walks does he have? He's got 2 walks. Fly ball to right field. Control is supposed to be his problem. He's just getting ripped. Another home run. We're down 9-1 in the top of the 9th. George Scott up with 1 out. It's not 2 outs, though. So the computer hasn't given up. Oh, my goodness. Is it gone? It's gone! A home run! Cuts the deficit to 7. Oh, we've got a rally going in the 9th inning. A run has already scored. We have a runner on first for Jerry Buchek. 2 outs and a 2-2 count. Jerry Buchek is batting .083 this season and slugging .083. Batting .083, slugging .083. And he goes down swinging, lowering that batting average. But we got a home run. We scored our first runs of the season. That is true. If you cannot walk them if they're hitting a home run on the first pitch. That is true. And it saves that arm. Keeps that pitch count low if you're not going to 4 balls every at bat. Bill Blass, despite only walking 2, finishes an 11.25 ERA. Gave up 3 home runs in 4 innings. Half the hits he gave up were home runs. Projected negative 10.3 WAR. Oh, man. Wow. What a team. What a team. All right, we did score our first runs, though. That's something. That's something. All right, let's sim another month. Oh, that just took us. Okay, that finished everyone up. 0-4. The Rockies have a win. No one else has. No, the Tigers are also 0-4, and the Yankees are 0-3. What's going on with the Yankees? Aaron Judge is hitting .417 with 2 home runs. Wow. Oh, their ERAs are terrible. Fried has a 16.88. Will Warren's got a 24. Rodon pitched well, but they lost that game because they're 0-3, 0-4. So, wonder what happened in that game. Let's check out his game log. It was March 29th. He gave up no earned runs. They gave up 1 run, unearned. Oh, hold on. Let me let my wife know I packed snacks for the kids. I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, which date was it? The 20. Wait, well, how come they only have two games in the books? Oh, they're 0-2. I thought it said they're 0-3. They're just 0-2. So Rodon pitched well, and then the bullpen came in and gave up 2. Oh, it was a close game. It was 3-2, so he just got unlucky. He got the no decision. Tim Hill got the loss in relief. No, they're 0-3. Where's their 3rd game? Did they already play one in April? Where's their 3rd game? Oh, I know. There's a 31st that's down here. There we go. They lost 10-12. All right, so let's go to, that was game 4. Let's go ahead and sim the month of April. So yeah, the Yankees have no wins, the Tigers have no wins, and there are several teams with 1 win. Just because March is such a short month in 2025. Okay, we're 12 games in and still no wins. 18. Oh, there's our first win. Okay, let's. Oh, 2 wins. Okay, let's go watch the highlights for that first win. 2-29. The Rockies have 8 wins. They are our closest company. We're 2-29. Who did we beat? Who did we beat? The Cardinals 6-5. We beat the Cardinals twice. We tied them in a series. Where's Cardinals fan? Cardinals fan, where are you when we need you? This terrible team beat your team twice. Both squeakers 6-5 and 7-6. By the way, how tired is our bullpen? I wonder if we have to go to a 14-man pitching staff for this team. Not today, but for the game. I wonder if we have to go to a 14-man pitching staff. Yes, that's right, Barry Basher. We beat the Cardinals twice, and somehow the Rockies only have 8 wins. That's right. Okay. Let's see how this game went here. Oh, it's a comeback win too. Okay, it's April 17th. April 17th. Okay, so top of the first, Cardinals are up, 2 outs in a full count. Runners on first and third for Newt Bar. Walk the bases loaded. Who's pitching, by the way? Oh, it's our buddy Steve Blass. Steve Blass. There's the walk I'm talking about. 2-1 count to Mason Wynn. This is a pretty light hitting Mason Wynn. 40 power. Line drive over the second baseman's head. Will they send the runner? They probably did. The throw is cut off. They get him at third? Did they get him at third? Yeah, that ends the inning, but they did score their second run before the out. All right, so it's 2-0. Top of the third, Cardinals threaten again. First and third again, Mason Wynn. This time I won't say that he's light hitting so that he won't put it in my face. Ground ball to second, slow roller to short, back to first, double play, ends the inning. Steve Blass getting out of the jam. All right, bottom of the fourth, still a 2-run game thanks to that double play. Fred Raymer on first, Jigs Parrott from 1894 batting. Raymer's already got the snowflake. Oh, we are a full month in, so I guess it's fine. He's got the snowflake. All right, runner on first pitch against Palante. Line drive down the right field line into the corner. That should be extra bases. All right, 1 out, second and third. 1-2 count to Sport McAllister, who's our backup catcher. Sport McAllister is hitting 183 on the year, a robust 280 slugging percentage. Ground ball to first, unassisted, but the run scores. RBI for Sport McAllister, cuts the lead in half. Top of the fifth, Cardinals threatening again, and again it's Mason Wynn. First and second with 1 out for Mason Wynn. Ground ball to third, to second, to first. Another double play. Oh, the clutch defense by this team. Bottom of the fifth, 3-0 count to George Wright. Fly ball to right field. And, oh, it's going to drop in. It's headed into the corner. Is George Wright going to try to take 2? He does. A leadoff double from George Wright. He had the green light on 3-0. Did you see that? 3-0 count, and they said, George Wright, You're hitting 227. 100 points better than anyone on the team. You have the green light on 3-0. He's slugging 320. When a guy's slugging 320 on your team, you give him the green light on 3-0. Oh, I think we would last like a month in Art of Anarchy. No question. We would get fired almost immediately. All right, Jock Jones. Jock Jones, I mean, he's one of the biggest names on the team, but he's slugging 218. So definitely way past his prime. Full count, though, to Jock Jones. And he does have the righty-lefty advantage here. Ground ball to second. Oh! He drops it. I don't even know where. Look at this. And where is he throwing this? It looks like he's throwing the third when he drops it. It looks like he's pump faking the third and drops it. All right, on the error, first and third. Jerry Buchek. At least there's no outs. Even a double play will score a tying run here. Just make contact, Jerry. This is the one rare occasion where I will say a double play might be better than the strikeout. It would drive in the run. Come on, Jerry. Just make contact. Oh, he pops it up. I was not specific enough, Jerry. I apologize. I was not specific enough. He pops it up. There's now a full count to Jim Lilly. Now, look at these ratings. His stealing, great. His fielding, amazing. He's like a 70, I think, in right field, 60 in center field. But this batting, 30 contact, 20 power, 30 eye. It is not inspiring confidence in me. You know what, though? He might be fast enough to beat out a double play. He might be fast enough to beat out a double play. That is one of the things that speed does factor into an OTP. Oh my goodness! It's going to be a sac fly. Go, 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 go. The game is tied 2-2. Lily with an RBI. All right. Bottom of the fifth, still going on. Jock Jones still on first. Fred Raymer up with 2 outs. First pitch swinging. Ground ball up the middle for a base hit. Looked like a ground ball, but I think that was one of Ezra's floating line drives. All right, second and third. I think it was a single, and he advanced on the throw. I don't think he would get credit for the double. Second and third for Jigs Parrott. 2 outs and a 1-2 count. And an error made this possible, so these would be unearned runs if they score. Jigs Parrott, lefty righty matchup in our favor. Oh, he goes down swinging. I jinxed it when I went ahead and started talking about earned runs. I totally jinxed it. All right, tie game, top of the sixth, 2-2 count. Nolan Gorman. Fly ball to right field. Off the wall. The throw into second is not going to be in time. That's a leadoff double for Gorman. That brings up Nolan Arenado. Back-to-back Nolans. 0-2 count. Line drive into right field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. It doesn't go to the corner, though, because they hold him to a single. They do. They do. First and third. Still no outs. Oh, Jordan Walker. You know what, though? This is 2025 Jordan Walker. Not yet the home run contest winning Jordan Walker. He still has 35 power in 2025. That's going to change in 2026, but as of right now, he still has 35 power. Line drive into center field, that's going to drop in, and they're going to take the lead. Runner holds at second. That might be big. First and second. Still no outs. McLaughlin is in from the bullpen. And that brings up Victor Scott the second. 1-2 count. Oh, check swing. What a big strikeout. What a big strikeout with runners on base. Runner in scoring position and no outs. Now with 2 outs, a double play can end the inning. We've seen that happen twice already. Wilson Contreras at bat. 0-1 count. Line drive to center field. Out number 2. Runner does not advance, so it'll still be first and second. Oh, we got out of the inning with just that 1 run scoring. Bottom of the 6th. Down by 1. Chris Davis, 3-1 count. Chris Davis draws the walk. Chris Davis, who's hitting 167, draws the walk. That brings up Sport McAllister, hitting 183. Fly ball in the right field. Caught for the out number 1. George Scott up with an 0-2 count. Feels like a strikeout coming. Nope, makes contact. Second base to short. And I wish it was a strikeout because that's a double play. The inning's over. Top of the 7th. St. Louis looking for insurance runs as they're up 3-2. And look at who it is. It's Mason Wynn again with a runner on third. 1-2 count. And look at that little hovercraft single. Ever since Ezra noticed those, I'm seeing them all over now. Let's give Ezra a shout out, by the way. OOTP, another OOTP affiliate streamer, does OOTP after dark, simming 1986 Giants multi-season save on season 1 right now. All right, runner first for Nolan Arenado. 2 outs and a 2-0 count. Line drive down the left field line. That's going to be a base hit. Take your time. Take your time throwing it in. It's wow, they scored 2 in the top of the 7th. I don't know how, but they scored 2. Bottom of the 7th, down by 3. We've got George right up first for Jock Jones with an 0-1 count. A little blooper in the left field. That's going to drop in, and it heads to the corner. Could be extra bases. Scott's in the third, and Jones is in the second with a double. And Scott scored. That's an RBI. The lead is cut to 2. That brings up Scott Thompson. Full count. Scott Thompson does have an eye. Nope. Hits one to center field. Oh, over the center fielder's head. That lackadaisical animation where they just kind of stroll over and then they have to jump for it. It's great when it happens for you. It's awful when it happens for you, like to you. Just kind of here, I'll show it again. Just kind of strolling over. I got this. I got this. Look at that. I'm just strolling over here. Oh my goodness, it's too far. And that's a run scoring double right there. All right, Scott. Oh, Lily. Lily's fast. 1-1 count. It's a 1-run game. Fly ball to center field. Too high and short to advance the run into third. So with 1 out now, it's a 1-2 count to Fred Raymer. Gets him swinging. All right, Jake's Parrott. Last chance this inning. 2 outs and a 2-2 count. Ground ball to second. Second baseman over to first in time. But we do cut the lead to 1. Top of the 8th. St. Louis looking for insurance. Blooper to right field. That's going to drop in. Oh, and it's going to head to the corner. Runners rounding first, headed to second. It's going to be a leadoff double. This is now second and third for Lars Nootbaar. 1 out and a 1-1 count. Roland Smith is now in the game. The infield is in. The drawn-in infield and the pop-up. That's a huge out number 2. Because now the infield can go back and any out ends the inning. It's Mason Wynn again. Mason Wynn has been up in so many big situations. And this time he flies out to center field. All right, bottom of the 8th. Still down by 1. Chris Davis up with a 1-2 count. Draws a walk. No, he went down looking. He can't draw a walk on a 1-2 count. Full count to Sport McAllister. The backup catcher draws a walk. We need base runners. We have base runners. First and second for George Wright, our center fielder. Oh, the pitch gets away from the catcher. Runners advance. It's a pass ball. Second and third. That's the price of Ivan Herrera. His bat is good, but his glove behind the plate is terrible. All right, right still up, 1 out and a 2-2 count. Runners on second and third. Line drive into left field, and it's gonna get over the left fielder's head. 2 runs are gonna score. We are up 6-5. George Wright in the clutch. All right, we head to the top of the ninth. Full count. Full count to Nolan Gorman. Leadoff hitter. And he grounds out to first. The flip to the pitcher. I thought they fixed that. So when it's like that, they'll just get the unassisted. Why are they flipping that to the pitcher? All right, Nolan Arenado, 1 out and a 1-2 count. Line drive into center field, but the center fielder's under it for out number 2. And that brings up Jordan Walker. 2025 Jordan Walker, very different than 2026 Jordan Walker. Oh, and I jinxed it. Is he going to hit a home run? No, it's off the wall. It's above the yellow line for sure, but it did not count as a home run. That was definitely above the yellow line. All right, we're watching it. That was definitely above the yellow line. There's no way this wasn't a home run. Look at this. It was under the jackfruit sign, but above the yellow line. That's definitely a home run. But he's not giving credit for the home run. Not giving credit for the home run. So that's going to take us to 2 outs and a full count to Victor Scott II. Full count. Pops him up to second base. And that's the first win of the season. A 6-5 nail biter. What a win. They got 15 hits and only scored 5 runs. A lot of it was those clutch double plays. Those double plays were huge. Man. All right, so that was win number 1. Win number 2 came shortly after the same series. We won't watch the highlights, but we'll just look at the box score of this one. Another come from behind victory. We gave up 3 in the first, and then slowly chipped away 1 in the first, and then a big 4-run inning in the third. Gave up 3 in the fifth, but then to tie it, and then scored 1 in the bottom of the 6th. How do we score 4 in the third? Let's see. Or 3 in the fourth. Sorry, I had that backwards. 3 in the fourth. No, it was 4 in the third. Okay. So Liberatore was pitching. Jim Levy hit a solo home run. Jim Levy is hitting 357 in limited action and a 786 slug. That is the beauty of small sample size. Solo home run. Lilly grounds out. Raymer walks. Jakes Parrott flies out. So there's now 2 outs. 2 outs. Chris Davis singles. So it's now first and third. And then Sport McAllister with a 2-run bomb. His first of the season. Wow. Home runs from the most unlikely sources, Levy and McAllister. Levy's power rating is a 30. In 1933, he hit 2 home runs. He slugged 240. So far, he's slugging 786. And Sport McAllister hit the other home run. In 1899, he hit 1 home run exactly in 452 plate appearances. He slugged 297. Right now, he's slugging 280, so not that far off. All right, that was win number 2. Let's go look at the month of May. Looking for win number 3 here. Still waiting. Still waiting. Still waiting. Oh my goodness. 2 and 55. We're on a 36 game losing streak. 2-56 in a 36 game losing streak. Let's screenshot this bad boy. We have 2 wins. The Rockies have 17. The Cardinals are the only team we've beaten, and we've beaten them twice. We're in the okay. Let's go. We're gonna go game by game here and see. $36 game. I'm worried that we're gonna not get to see how long the losing streak ended up being. $37 game losing streak. I mean, 38 game losing streak. 39 game losing streak. 40 game losing streak. Okay, that's probably what. I mean, I guess I could take a screenshot every day from now on and just watch it get higher. 41 game losing streak. Screenshot that. 42 game losing streak. 43 game losing streak. 44 game losing streak. Oh, we had a day off, so we didn't extend the streak. Yes, that would be true. That would be true. Getting to the meme of 69 game losing streak would be 45 game losing streak. 46 game losing streak. Part of why I'm doing this too on the Friday before PTCS is after watching this, we will all feel so good about our PTCS results. Even if we go 0-9, we can say at least it wasn't a 46 game losing streak. So this is to take the edge off of PTCS tomorrow. 47 game losing streak. 48 game losing streak. Oh, we win. We win. Okay, let's watch the highlight to this. Well, I mean, maybe not the highlight, but let's go see the Oh, a pitcher's duel, 3-2 against the Rays. Take that, AW. AW, we beat your Rays. Anderson hit 2 home runs. What a hero. We won 3-2 and he hit 2 home runs. In 1949, he hit 1 home run in 153 plate appearances. He slugged 169. His slugging was lower than his on-base percentage. And this season, he's slugging 654. He's got 3 home runs. His OPS is 940. He's got 3 home runs. Wow. All right, so what did we get up to? 48, 48, 49 game losing streak? What was the last screenshot? Let me see. What was the last screenshot? We got up to 48 game losing streak. 48 game losing streak. All right, let's watch the rest of the month here. I thought win number 4 might come pretty quickly after, but no such luck. 3-82. The Rockies have 10 times as many wins as we do. The Rockies have 10 times as many wins as us. That's how bad we are. We're 51 games behind. All right, listen. Oh, it'll be interesting who our 1 All-Star is. .393 and 031 win percentage. The Rockies now have 11 times as many wins as us. We've lost another 25 in a row. After losing 48 in a row, we've now lost another 25 in a row. Jim Lilly, third in stolen bases on the leaderboard. We have a leaderboard appearance. 25 steals, only 9 caught stealing. Actually, relatively productive. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's. We have one more game to play to get to the All-Star break. It is a loss. We're 3-94. Let's see what the All-Star voting looks like. No votes. No votes. Okay. Who will be our one All-Star? Who will be our one All-Star? Feel free to guess in the chat. Tom Fisher has our one. He's already 1 in 19, and it's the All-Star break. He's already 1 in 19. He's got our one of our wins. Roland Smith has another. He's 1 and 2 with a 3.97 ERA. And Grabowski's 1 and 0, undefeated with an 8.58 ERA. I mean, Roland Smith might be a candidate here. 3.97 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. Oh my goodness. Matthews, even though he's 0-15 and has a 7.91 ERA, he's got a positive WAR. I mean, Ryan Roland Smith by far our best pitcher. Is it Roland Smith? Let's check out the batters. The guy that won the last game with 2 home runs. Okay, that's your guess. That was Andy Anderson who yeah, it was Andy Anderson who did that. Andy Anderson. He doesn't start though, so I think you might want a different guess. He came off the bench to do that magic, flying WV. All right, our home run leader is of course Chris Davis with 10 home runs. He's hitting 198 with 526 OPS. I'll sort by OPS here. Andy Anderson off the bench though does have a 788 OPS. I don't know how the All-Star voting selection feels about bench players. This might be too small sample size. George Scott has 7 home runs. He's hitting 139. And Jim Lilly has 6 home runs. He's hitting 214. Jim Lilly also had 25 stolen bases. I might go Jim Lilly here. I think it might be Jim Lilly. And he can field. I don't know how much that factors into the All-Star selection, but he can field. All right, let's go see who they chose. There's no way we're getting one more than one. Oh, they did take Ryan Roland Smith. 1 and 2, 3.97 ERA, 1.44 WHIP. If they did take bench players though, I wouldn't be surprised if Flying W had been right, because that guy's rate stats were very good. All right, so we have one relief pitcher on the All-Star game. So home run challenge. We don't have anyone in this. In fact, they probably asked our pitchers to pitch it. Oh, no, we said that last time too, but then none of them can find the plate, so that would be bad. All right, Wallner advances over Carroll. Schwarber beats Suarez. Judge beats Adele. And Canyonero beats PCA. Wallner advances past Schwarber, and Judge advances past Canyonero. And Wallner beats Judge in the final, 13-12. Wow, that's a surprise. What's the way to limit their crackness in an All-Star game? Throw a relief pitcher in the bullpen. Exactly. He may not even see the field. He might not even see the field. Let's see. Let's see if he gets in on this. The NL wins 4-3. Oh, why do I feel like he maybe gave up this run in the 11th inning? Nope. The loss was not our guy. It was Estevez. Oh, he blew the save. Our guy blew the save. Of course he did. He pitched 1 inning and he blew the save. So fine WB, they might have thought that. They might have thought they're limiting their exposure by taking one of our relief pitchers. But he blew the save. I mean, it's their fault for bringing him in the 8th. That's not smart. We blew the save. We had one player in. He pitched 1 inning and he blew the save. Amazing. Amazing. 1 all-star, 1 relief pitcher, 1 inning, 1 blown save. You're welcome. All right, let's go back and resume the season. Finish July. All right, we're in another 38-game losing streak. We had a 48-gamer, now we got a 38-gamer. Unbelievable. Jim Lilly now leading the league in stolen bases with 30. The Rockies now have more than 12 times as many wins as us. Oh, we got another win. We're on a 1-game winning streak. We've been eliminated from the playoffs on August 4th. August 4th, elimination from the playoffs. That is amazing. 4-108. Let's look at our 1-game win streak. Wait, where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh, Ezra Denny. We beat San Francisco. And we beat them by 4 runs. 4 runs in the bottom of the 6th. 3 in the first, 4 in the 6th. No home runs either. All right, how did we score 3 in the first and then 4 in the 6th? 3 in the first against Jordan Hicks. Single by Lilly. A walk to Raymer, first and second. A ground out. Runners advance to second and third. A double by Chris Davis scores 2 runs. Sport McAllister hits a single. Chris Davis scores on the throw to home. Speed demon, Chris Davis. All right, that's that inning. And then the bottom of the 5th, we score again. No, bottom of the 6th. Yep. McAllister leads off with a single. George Scott singles first and third. George Wright singles. McAllister scores first and second. Ground out by Jock Jones, but it advances the runner second and third. Strikeout by Buchek. Walk by Lilly loads the bases. And then a bases loaded single by Raymer scores 2. They change pitchers. Parrott singles, driving in another. And then Chris Davis strikes out. Monster offensive performance. 7 runs, winning by 4. 4-108. Still almost 10 times as many wins by the Rockies with 38 wins. We're 63.5 games behind in the division. We're eliminated from the playoffs on August 4th. That's amazing. Five wins. Yeah, 5 wins. 5-132. 5-132. Against Atlanta, an 8-2 win. We cruised the whole way. In fact, we didn't give up the 2 runs until the 8th inning. Who started this game? Matus won his first win. 1-21. Matus. Congratulations. 6 and a third shutout innings, 3 walks, 6 hits, 6 strikeouts. 100 innings pitched. Wow. Congratulations, buddy. Was he player of the game? Yeah, Brian Matthews, player of the game. 1 in 21. First win of the season. Now imagine trying to win games with this team by adding 6 players to it. I think the goal might have to be trying to be a 500 team, not make the playoffs. Just being a 500 team would be impressive for this. 5 and 125. All right, let's do another week. 6 and 137. 6 and 137. We beat Cincinnati 11-8. Oh, what a comeback too. We're down 4-0. We scored 8 in the 5th and 3 in the 6th. How do we score 8 in the 5th? On the road we won too, no less. Top of the 5th. Sport McAllister leads off with a single. George Scott with a double, second and third. George Wright with a double, scores 2. Jock Jones walks, first and second. Buchek strikes out again. Buchek is in the middle of all these rallies striking out. Jim Lilly gets on in an error, bases loaded error by the third baseman. Fred Raymer singles and a run scores. Bases still loaded. Jegs Parrott singles, another run scores. Grand slam by Chris Davis. Chris Davis does it. 17 home runs, slugging 306. Could you imagine you hit 17 home runs, but your batting is so bad you're still slugging 306? That's Chris Davis. They bring in a relief pitcher. He strikes out McAllister and gets George Scott to ground out. But by then, the grand slam had already happened and 8 runs had scored. Awesome. Awesome. Good job, guys. All right, September 8th, we're going to do another week. Can we get to win 7? Win number 7. No. 6 and 144. Do another week. Come on, win number 7. Yes, there's win number 7. How do we get that? Against Washington, 4-2. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 8th. They give up 1 in the 9th, but hang on to win 4-2. Those 2 insurance runs came in big. It would have been extra innings if not for those insurance runs. Roland Smith comes in with the save, 5th save of the season. Fisher gets his 2nd win of the year. Way to go. 6 innings, 1 earned. He's got to be leading the team in wins, right? With 2? He sure is. 2 and 28, team leader in wins. Only 2 starters have wins. 2 and 28 and 1 and 25. Larkin might go 0 and 30, depending on how many more starts he gets. We have 1 week left. I don't know if he'll get 2 more starts in. It depends on where in the rotation we are. Yeah, Larkin's only going to have a shot at 29 losses. All right, we'll see him to the end of the regular season. Will there be a win number 8? 1 game left. Will there be a win number 8? No, it is a loss. How did the final game finish? The final game was a 10-1 loss to the Marlins. We do finish the season on a 8-game losing streak. There is a game once this week. The Red Sox and Yankees have to figure out their division title. Oh, also the Athletics and Astros. Oh, because one of these teams is going to win the division. The other will be the number 2 wild card, and then they have to play for the number 3 wild card. So the wild card game, the Astros win. The division game, the Red Sox win. So it'll be Red Sox win the division, Yankees get the number 2 wild card, and the Astros get the number 3 wild card. Okay, we got no achievements. But let's go ahead and save this. 7 and 155. Yeah, fine to me. The reason no lowball team can touch this is we don't have anything even close to a bench level player. These are all scrub level players. sub scrub maybe. All right, let's. I mean, these are the all-time scrubbiest players we can find, so it makes sense that they're this bad. It's just a little shocking though that they can be this bad. All right, let's go to the postseason. No surprise, we did not make the postseason. Diamondbacks win 2-0 over the Padres. Phillies also sweep the Brewers. Oh, it's all sweeps in the wildcard rounds. Phillies sweep the Brewers. Astros sweep the Red Sox, and the Mariners sweep the Yankees. So it'll be Mariners, Rangers, Astros, White Sox, Phillies, Cubs, and Diamondbacks, Dodgers. All right, after the division series, Diamondbacks beat the Dodgers in 4. The Phillies sweep the Cubs. The Astros beat the White Sox in 4, and the Mariners sweep the Rangers. So Houston, Seattle, Philly, Arizona in the league championship series. Mariners sweep the Astros, and the Phillies beat the Diamondbacks in 7. So that means the Mariners had a chance to reset their rotation and be rested. The Phillies are coming off a 7-game series. And the Mariners may be taking advantage of that. They sweep the Phillies in the World Series. All right, we got a game score of 1. Not unexpected. And let's go to the postseason awards. Great Glove Award. This is one potentially Lily could win. He is a very highly rated outfielder. But no awards there. All right, next up, reliever of the year. We did have a relief pitcher in the All-Star game. Wait, why is Blast listed as a relief pitcher? Did they put him in the bullpen for the postseason? Is this a no? Did they start starting? No, he got 32 starts. Oh, this is for next season, I think. They removed him from the rotation for next season, maybe. Once it hits the off season, a lot of weird things happen. Their ratings get reset and everything. How many snowflakes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 snowflakes on a 13-man pitching staff. Our one all-star was it Roland Smith? Yeah, it was Roland Smith. Yeah, look at him. There's his all-star appearance. At the time he had a 3 something ERA, right? He finishes a 6.36 ERA. He did go 1-6 with 5 saves. Did finish with a negative WAR. His whip though pretty impressive, 1.59. Not too bad. But definitely not enough to get any relief pitcher of the year votes, despite being an all-star. It's Trevor McGill gets 13 first place votes. Bednar gets 11, and Dreyer gets 5. And way down here, Tanner Banks gets 1. This is one of the most fractured voting results we've seen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th place pitcher got a first place vote. 4 players got first place votes, and the winner won by 14 points. So Bednar also did have a good season, as did McGill. Both had sub 2 ERAs and over 30 saves. Dreyer had a 2.27 in a setup role, and the other first place vote went to Banks. He was also in a setup role, but had 1.60 ERA. But yeah, no votes for us. Platinum Stick Awards, there's no way we're going to come close to one of these. Yep, nothing for us. Next up is Rookie of the Year. I think we do have some rookies on the team, but they're not going to win anything. Nope. Cy Young Award. Yeah, only 6 pitchers got votes. But all 3 of them got first place votes. Hunter Green, Christopher Sanchez, and Nick Pivetta. Hunter Green, who no-hit us on opening day, he went on to win a Cy Young Award. So we should feel proud about that. We contributed to that. Hey, Tonkmato, we're playing the worst players we could find, and we won 7 games in a 162-game season. 7 and 155. Truly found some awful baseball players. All right, what's the next award? MVP. Okay, who's our top MVP candidate? With a well, I don't think they give him to a part timer with a 550 OPS. Second baseman Fred Raymer is our top candidate there. So let's see who wins the MVP. Corbin Carroll beats out Shohei. Again, 3 players get first place votes. 15 for Carroll, 8 for Ohtani, 7 for Turner. Trey Turner putting in a campaign. 334, 9 home runs, 79 RBI. Looks like 847 OPS. I'm guessing he probably also stole a lot of bases. Let's see. 44 steals and only 6 caught stealing. Led the league in stolen bases. So that helped too. Yeah, Trey Turner with a heck of a season. Shohei, 306 with 49 home runs. But Corbin Carroll, 285 with 47 home runs. The other thing that I've noticed is Shohei is not set to a two-way player, even though he did play as a two-way player in 2025. So when we do the historic says and does of this league, we are going to set him to a two-way player for the Dodgers. So if we'll have to deal with him on the Dodgers. That also means for all of our other creator roster games, I'm not going to switch in mid-season, but he hasn't been playing as a two-way player. So he's just been a DH. All right, so that's the postseason awards. So we can go now to the pack giveaway. I do want to take a look at a couple things. Well, first we need the mouse hover results. Is there going to be anything other than a 30 on here? What do you got? Anyone think other than 30? Defensive efficiency, maybe? 29th in defensive efficiency. Otherwise, it's all 30s. That is pretty impressive. Like Flying W said, this is the low ball meta. This is can't get worse than this. All right, let's. Oh yeah, the other things I wanted to see were the month by month win percentages. 74 and 71. 74, 0. 37, 0. 71. And then 080. 080 in September. We said 15th in everything except 13th in stolen bases and 6th in base running. On the pitching and defense side, we were 15th in everything except 14th in defensive efficiency. 10th, negative 24.5 is 10th in the NL. And we're tied for 8th in errors. A little surprised. Oh, Lap is not streaming today. I thought he was streaming later today, but it's tomorrow he's streaming. All right, so let's see. No Lap stream today. All right. We get to do the pack giveaway now. What else do I need? I think I have everything we need. All right, let's do this. I need a restroom break here, so I'm gonna run some ads and put up the BRB, and that way we can get through the pack giveaway scoring uninterrupted. All right, I think we're back from the ad break. All right, let's check out this pack giveaway form. Good luck, everybody. Again, we agreed, the three contestants. Well, two of them agreed, so uh, so Z Grizzly, who wasn't in the chat at the time, hopefully would have agreed also. I would like to have been unanimous, but and like I said, Z Grizzly would have. This is better for Z Grizzly anyway, based on the win total guesses. And I called that before we started the sim, that this is also in Z Grizzly's favor too. So we're gonna bypass the Survivor Assault section. No, it's good for you. It's good for you that we're bypassing the. It's very good for you that we're bypassing the upfront section. I tried to tell you that, but I don't think you were in the chat at the time. This is good for you. Okay, so this is just for fun, and then everyone's gonna be in the running for first and second place back in the second place section. So, will this team have the worst record? Oh, that's Flying WV. That's sorry, I was waiting for the Z Grizzly to pop in. It was Flying WV, and I can see that it says Flying WV when I'm talking to him as if he's Z Grizzly. Oh, Z Grizzly's there. Okay, Z Grizzly. I don't think you're in the chat when we were discussing this. But since there are only 3 contestants, Flying WV and Nerd of Anarchy wanted to just bypass the Survivor Style section. And I peeked at the win total guesses, and trust me, you wanted this too, Z Grizzly. So it's in your best interest. Okay, will this team have the worst record in the majors? Yes, they did. All these, everyone is the same. They did not win the division. They were the worst everywhere. Everyone is the same. Okay, so then the win total guess again. Oh, sorry. Again, just for fun, the win total guess. Everyone gets the same all the way through. The win total guess. The actual answer was 7. Everyone, we're skipping this though. There is no first place packs for this. It's first and second place in the what we usually call the second place section. 7 games. Flying W would have won with 10. Z Grizzly, this is why I said Z Grizzly, you're better off skipping this. Here's okay, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do though. I am going to give the 3 points to whoever was closest. So I think there should be something for doing well in this upfront section. So we're going to do that. I think that's fair. All right. So the first question is, how many games behind will this team finish? Oh, that's right. I was wondering why isn't it fitting on the screen, but it's because I added questions. Fortunately, everyone tonight has short usernames, so I can squeeze this in too. Okay, we almost have enough space. We almost have enough space. Okay, all right. Okay, how many games behind? They were 89 games behind. Somehow Nerd of Anarchy guessed over. 92 games behind for Nerd of Anarchy is the closest. How many All-Stars? Correct. We did get the minimum number. Silver Sluggers, Gold Gloves and Silver Sluggers, we did get none. So those are all correct. Okay, runs scored, we were last. We were last in everything except defensive efficiency. Batting average, we were last. Home runs hit, we were last. ERA, we were last. Strikeouts thrown, we were last. But defensive efficiency, we were not last. We were 29th, so even though Z usually gets 28th, everyone gets a point because everyone was 1 away from the right answer. Amazing. All right, so headed into the batting questions. We got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 points for Nerd of Anarchy. 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 points for Flying WV. And 2, 4, 6, 7 points for Z Grizzly. Everyone's still in the running right now. All right, how many home runs hit by the team leader in home runs? That would probably be Chris Davis. Chris Davis hit 20 home runs. 20 home runs. Pretty good guesses by Nerd American Flying WE, who guessed 24. In the right ballpark, I would say. All right, strikeouts. Most strikeouts by a batter. Not Chris Davis. Chris Davis had 232. Okay, look. You expect strikeouts from a power hitter, right? You're swinging for the fences. So you hit 20 home runs, you get 232 strikeouts. What about the guy who strikes out 234 times and hit 0 home runs? 234 strikeouts, 0 home runs. Chris Buchek. Chris Buchek leads the team in home runs. And for what reason? No home runs. 234. And Nerd America is closest with 222. Jerry Buchek. All right, lowest batting average with at least 300 plate appearances. Jerry Buchek, 097. 097. He did not hit 100. The low guess is going to take this. 152 by Flying WV. 097 in a full season. He had 453 plate appearances. Not small sample size. He is terrible. Now, this is a new question. Highest batting average on this terrible team. Fred Raymer hit 227. 227. Oh, look at all these overshooting guesses. 227, everybody. 270 is the lowest guess. So that's going to go to Z Grizzly. Think about by how much you overshot this, everybody. 227 was the highest batting average. All right, and then the lowest OPS. The lowest OPS. Jerry Buchek. 251. 251 OPS. We're adding on base percentage and slugging, and it still only comes out to 251. Ridiculous. 455 by Flying WV. Our leading batting average guy almost had a higher batting average than Buchek's OPS. Amazing. No, yeah, it does make sense from the stats for sure, but it's just terrible. Highest OPS. Andy Anderson does not qualify. He hit 663 OPS, but he did not have, he only had 52 plate appearances. So the next highest is Fred Raymer with a full season, 160 games played, 550 OPS, 550. So Z Grizzly making a little comeback here. And then the lowest batter WAR. It is not. Oh, it is Jerry Buchek. I thought it was not Jerry Buchek, but it is Jerry Buchek. Negative 5.9. Negative 5.9. Flying W was somehow guessed negative 6.2. Gets that right. As incredibly close, actually, considering negative 5.9 is so huge. Z Grizzly misread lowest WAR and still got it right. Alright, so the hitting question. They start here with the number of home runs. So 2 more for Nerd of Anarchy to move up to 12. 4 more for Flying WV to move up to 16. And 2 more for Z Grizzly to move up to 9. Now Z Grizzly, I think, still has a shot at second place. There's 7 questions left. Z Grizzly could still win if Z Grizzly runs the table. Okay, next up is most strikeouts thrown by a pitcher on this team. Brian Matus, who did go 1-26, did have 143 strikeouts. And Z Grizzly only 2 away with a guess of 141. Amazing guess, Z Grizzly. Amazing. All right. Home runs allowed. Now, what happens here is the players giving up home runs usually don't pitch enough innings to give up too many. And that's what happened here. Harry Cauliflower gave up 39. So Find OV got that, was the closest there with 44. Now the home runs per 9 rates were terrible. Cauliflower was 2.6. McLish and Roland Smith were 2.1. And Alfredo Big Pasta Simon was 2.0. But no one pitched more than 158 in the third innings. Cauliflower only had 132 in 2/3 innings. So their terrible pitching also limits the number of home runs they allow. Yeah, Zeros, you're already at double digits. You got 10 points. All right, highest ERA with at least 100 innings pitched. Todd Van Poppel had an 11.16, but only had 59 and 2/3 innings. Harry Cauliflower did qualify and had a 10.92. 10.92. So Find OV is a little closer. Only, well, a lot closer. Only 0.37 away. So very good guess there. No, 10 point, what did I say? 10 point, 10.92. So 1.07 away. But Find OV gets a point there. Now this is a much harder question. The lowest ERA with the least 100 innings pitched. That is Brian Matus. So Byron McLaughlin, the pen, almost had 100 innings. He had 97 1/3. He had a 6.47. Brian Matus went 1 in 26, had a 6.86. So 6.86. So Z Grizzly is 1.41 away. And 1.65 away is Nerve Anarchy. So Z Grizzly gets another point. Z Grizzly might catch Nerd of Anarchy for second place here. All right, next question is highest whip. Highest whip, at least 100 innings pitched. Harry Cauliflower again, 2.28. So Nerd of Anarchy is closer there. So there's a point for Nerd of Anarchy. Keeping Z at bay for now. All right, now lowest whip with at least 100 innings pitched. Again, Byron McLaughlin doesn't qualify, so Matus with a 1.90. Nerd of Anarchy with another one. I think Nerd of Anarchy just might have locked up second place there. Worst pitcher war. Steve Blass, negative 3.3. Find OV gets a point there. So I think that helps Find OV lock up first place too. But let's add him up. Really good competition though. Lots of good guesses by everybody. Two more for Nerve IQ for 14. Where did we start? We started here with the strikeout. So 1, 2, 3 more for Find OV for 19. And 2 more for Z Grizzly for 11. All right. So even without the 3 bonus points, it would have worked out the same. First place for Find WV, second place for Nerd of Anarchy, and third place for Z Grizzly. Good job, everybody. Congrats to our winners. All right, with that, I'm going to wrap things up. We're going to raid out so I can make myself some dinner. And then I've got some stuff to do before I stream again tonight. I've got to still finish making those copies of my Iron and Bronze rosters for my other accounts. And I've got a weekly perfect draft to do in a few minutes here. And I saw that Seawit was streaming, so we're going to raid into Seawit. He's also doing PTCS prep, but I'll be back on it around... well, actually, with Ezra not streaming, I might hop on earlier. So you might see me around 8 or so. No, not 8. Sorry, not 8. Maybe 8:30 or so instead of 10 Pacific, maybe 9. We'll do a couple wheel spins during the night. I've got 3 live rosters to build, 2 daily drafts to do, and 2 weekly drafts to do. So I'm hoping it won't take as long as last night did. But I still have to copy those bronze and iron rosters before I start tonight. So that's what I'll be doing and making dinner. My wife's taking the girls out tonight. They're going swimming and ice skating. Unfortunately, the skating rink that's in town here is going to close pretty soon. So I think this might be their last chance to go skating. So they're excited about it, but bummed out that it's going to be ending soon. I think that's happening in other cities too, from what I've heard from friends. Like, you have to go out to the suburbs now to go ice skating. A lot of the in-town ice skating places have disappeared, and where they have been lucky enough to get replacements, they've been pretty far out of town. I don't think we are getting a downtown replacement anytime soon or ever. So, and the thing is, I don't know that we have a good suburban alternative. So we might not have ice skating around for a while. All right. Yeah, no, I will definitely not be going to a food coma. I will be snacking at the computer probably because I have so much stuff to do. I also had to work right up until my stream time today, so that was part of it. All right, we're gonna raid CWIT DCFC. I think I got that right. Oh wait, before that, let's go programming note. We've got PTCS builds tonight. We've got Find a V tomorrow night. We've got Z Grizzly Sunday night. I think Z Grizzly told me what he wanted to play, but I think I might have forgotten to write it down on the calendar. Z Grizzly, if you can hear me, what game are we playing Sunday? I think you told me. No, I'm supposed to remind you to tell me. So what are we playing Sunday night? I would like it on the calendar so I can promote it. And Find me. Did you tell me what we're playing Saturday? I think you did. I think you did. No, maybe you didn't. So same question for you, Find V. What are we playing Saturday? All right, Dead Ball for Z Grizzly on Sunday. Dead Ball for Z Grizzly. Okay, and then Find a V. What are we playing tomorrow night? So then I can update the calendar and then we can rate out. Also, Nerd of Anarchy is playing Dead Ball on Monday too, so that'll be fun. We'll have back-to-back Dead Balls at Z Grizzly and Nerd of Anarchy. All right, I'll also ping Find WV on Discord too, and then hopefully we can figure that out. All right. Okay, so yeah, we've got PTS roster builds and drafts tonight, and then we've got 3 community games Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then I had an idea for an experiment, but maybe we'll kick off the official historic studs and duds with a test run. I was kind of wondering what happens if we bring back those 6 batters that made it to the postseason and lost in the division series with the previous roster. That was actually a much better roster. Now, 4 wins doesn't sound like a lot, but they won 50% more games than this team. So I actually don't know that that team makes the playoffs now with those same 6 batters. So that's kind of what I wanted to test on Tuesday. But if Ezra's going to be on Tuesday, then I want to do the best Willie Mays test, where we take the completely average league and each team in the average league gets 3 or 4 copies of the same season Willie Mays, and we play the season to see which version of Willie Mays leads their team to the most runs or the run differential, because his defense will also matter, um, and help us decide kind of once and for all like which Willie Mays is the peak version for 2025. I think it'll be fun. We're gonna do this for like Babe Ruth and Barry Bonds and see like which one comes in the best. All right, so yeah, so it's like Find of You might be out, so we're gonna. I've sent him a message in Discord, so we'll just go ahead and raid Seawit, and then I'll be back on later tonight. I wonder if I'll have to reboot my computer to stream again tonight. Usually I do just in case, but